Okay, tonight I'd like to discuss with you a subject that I'm really passionate about, and that's youth select or elite sports. What would you do if somebody told you if your kid played on this team or played in this league, that they'd probably get a college scholarship, or maybe even a professional scout would see them and they'd get to go pro? Lots of parents would just be jumping at that thing. But what they don't tell you is that they have to play year round, that the risk of injury is higher, that the emotional stress is much higher, that the financial demands are enormous. All these things factor into youth elite sports, and they're things that are not given to you up front because they want to hide it behind the guise of getting a college scholarship. I have a personal connection in this. I have 3 sons. One of them played select baseball. We removed him from that because of these very reasons, because we thought it was more important for him to be well adjusted and well rounded than it was for him to play sports and maybe get his college scholarship playing baseball. Not all select sports teams are bad. Some of them provide opportunities for kids that they wouldn't get otherwise. But there are some problems with it, and I'd like to discuss those problems that are associated with youth select sports. Most of these kids are between the ages of 6 and 14, so they're young. They're not mature enough in their bodies or in their minds to handle the physical and mental stress that comes along with playing year-round elite level competition. Robert Molina wrote in his paper, Early Specialization, Roots, Effectiveness, and Risks, there are 6 potential risks associated with sports specialization, and they are social isolation, overdependence, burnout, manipulation, injury, and compromise, growth, and maturation. Elite sports played at a high level, year-round, with immense pressure from coaches, parents, friends, and teams, associated with all the normal stresses that go along with being a child or an adolescent, can lead to some really dangerous developmental issues. And I think it's something that we as parents need to pay really close attention to. Is it worth a college scholarship for some of these things to be problems that our children have to deal with? The second one's the money. Guys, it's just expensive. It's really expensive to play on these teams. Ohio University wrote an article on a study they did called The Finance of Youth Sports in the U.S. And they said, according to experts, a travel team can cost up to $10,000 per season, depending on the sport, its fees, its travel schedule, and the required equipment. That's $30,000 a year if your team plays 3 seasons, which a lot of them do. That's an enormous amount of money to pay on the promise that maybe your kid will get a look at a college scholarship. It's a money grab. It's what it looks like to me. Forbes magazine estimates it's a $7 billion a year industry. The percentage of young athletes that actually get or make it in select youth sports is small in comparison to the amount of money that they're bringing in. Robert Molina again says that few individuals who specialize in sports at a young age make it to elite levels and reap the social, economic, and other benefits associated with success. There's just no payoff to the money. It's not a problem for everybody, but it is for some. So I really like to discuss some solutions to the problems that we just talked about. Parents, you have to be the front line of defense. You have to keep your children's well-being and their health in mind and not worry about whether they're going to be a professional athlete or go to college to play golf or to play baseball or to play football. Robert Molina again concludes that it's essential to keep sports in perspective. Young adults participating, including talented athletes, are children, adolescents with the needs of children and adolescents. They are kids. They are not little athletes, and they're certainly not a ticket to the big leagues. We need to treat them as our children and do what's best for them. The second is regulation. Schools and city leagues have to regulate hours, how many pitches a kid can throw, how many practices they can have. Youth select teams do not have to do that. They can practice as many hours as they want. They can throw any pitches they want. They can work them as hard and put as much pressure on them as they need to do. This is not good. Why would we regulate others and not this? This is an industry that needs to be regulated so that we can make sure that the health and well-being of our children is being cared for by other people while our kids are in their care. And then take advantage of city seasonal leagues. There are plenty of city leagues that give you a diversity of sports, and they give you coaches that are volunteer and that they care about the kids more than they care about winning. Now, it may not turn him into a professional baseball player, but what it's going to turn him into is a healthy, happy child that's got great memories and has a diverse, well-rounded background. These solutions are not easily done, but there are benefits to these solutions, and I'd like to take a little bit of a look at those. The first one is the kids are going to be happier. My kids play city sports, and they're happy. They love playing football. They love playing baseball. Bill Pennington with the New York Times quoted Bruce Word in his article, and Bruce Word's the director of physical education for the San Diego Public Schools, and he said that the shame of it is you see how hardened these 14-year-olds are. By the time they get to high school, they're talented, terrific players, but I don't see the joy. They look tired. They played year-round. They look like little professionals. What a sad statement that is to make about our babies, that they look like tired little professional athletes by the time they hit 14 years old. Rather than us caring for them and their well-being, we put them in the position to be burned out, to be manipulated by a sports industry that's looking to make $7 billion a year rather than what's really in their best interest. So utilize your sports schools, utilize those city leagues. They're for all kids. And if the idea is to get recruited, the recruiters are going to go where the talent is. So if your talented athlete plays city league instead of select, they're going to drag recruiters with them, and other kids are going to get seen as well, kids that don't have the opportunity financially to play these sports. So we've discussed the business of it. We've discussed the issues from it, the problems. We've discussed some of the solutions. And the solutions, I think, are really going to bring families together. They really help in raising well-adjusted, healthy, happy children. So that's why I'm passionate about this. That's why I want parents to really take a look. So if you're a parent, or you want to be one day, I want you to look at the research. And I believe it shows that select teams do not do what they say they would do other than put money in the pockets that run these teams and run these leagues. Allow the kids to participate in a diversity of sports. Allow them to be well-rounded individuals, and I guarantee in the long run, you're going to end up being happier, and so will they. Thank you very much.